The Senate will now come to order. Our first order of business is roll call. The clerk of the Senate will now take the call.
Hi everyone, if you're here today as a proxy, please raise your hand and say proxy when you hear the name of your senator. Dot Adedika. Here. Nadia Alfaraj. Crystal Alvarez.
Here.
Pamela Owatli. Fantasy Bias.
Here.
Catalina Carvajal. Holly Carbine.
Here.
Antonio Cardenas.
Here.
Justin Douse.
Here.
Alana De La Torre.
Here.
Maya De La Torre.
Here.
Max Donahue.
Here.
Andrew DeHovic. Eliza Giro.
Here.
Valerie Jaimes.
Here.
Yashvi Kaladi.
Here.
Jesse Magana.
Here.
Simon Mizrahi.
Proxy.
Chidi Okaru.
Here.
Rhonda Papp.
Proxy.
Maya Ramirez.
Here.
Brianna Rivas.
Here.
Andrew Schneider.
Yeah.
Angelo Tharp. Ernesto Trupli.
Here.
Anieli Villegas Ferreira.
Here.
Vito Vesuvian.
Here.
And Justice Soto.
Here.
Let the record reflect that quorum is met. Our second order of business is approval of the agenda. Are there any motions?
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
There is a motion on the floor having been seconded to approve the agenda. All those in favor, please raise your placards and say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? And any abstentions? Motion passes. The agenda is approved. The next item on our agenda is the approval of the minutes from February 20th. Is there a motion to approve last week's minutes? There's a motion on the floor having been seconded to approve last week's minutes. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please raise your placards and say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? And any abstentions? Motion passes. Next item on the agenda is report from Speaker of the Senate. So I'll be presenting for Cotto. So just as a reminder that there are 3 absences allowed for each senator per term, AKA for the year. And just because you let Cotto know, like you email her, that doesn't mean that it's automatically excused. And as for proxies, you cannot have the same one more than twice be your proxy. Are there any questions? Okay. Next item on the agenda is reports from committee chairs.
Hello everyone, happy Thursday. So just a couple announcements. We have started to finalize the categories and the data from the survey, which is really exciting. And so I'm working right now with Tim Navarro, who works in student affairs, as well as Margaret Lurie, who works in student affairs. And we'll be presenting data and some of the findings from the survey at the Student Success Summit, which is on March 11th from 10:30 a.m. to 12 in the UCs, I believe. It's in the KIP gym, just kidding. So if you all want to come, you're more than welcome to, because they're going to be talking about other things as well. So they'll be talking about a change to admission cycles and how that'll affect students, and then as well as talking about how to support students on campus. And then the Campus Belonging Survey this year went out to more than just first-year students. So if you have any questions about it, please let me know, and we're more than happy to answer.
Hello. Student Org Committee Chair here. We're just approving some orgs. As you know, there are some today to be approved. We're still planning the student org committee mixer, so watch out for that. That'll be after spring break, and then the student org ceremony.
So I'm a proxy today, so I'm proxying for Rhonda, and so she just wrote me a script of what to say. And so last week she gave a talk about Aussie with Sophia, in which she reached out to the Director of Marketing for Dining Services, Lauren Johnson, regarding your questions that you asked at the end of the meeting, and here are some of the responses. The first question was, is there a way to implement dining swipes to pay for the Aussie box? And then they responded that any changes to a method of payment would not be made until September. Other options will be considered once a semester of use has passed. The second was, what is the effect of the amount of dishes in the facilities on the workers? And have the workers received alternate forms of compensation? And then they responded that all staff who work in the dish room are hourly employees and get paid for the hours they work. With that said, the Aussie boxes fit in the industrial dishwasher, so there's no need to clean them manually. And then the third was a question regarding the design options and if there were larger options with more dividers. And they responded that they believe that we have the biggest box with 2 styles. One is an open box and the other with 3 compartments with dividers. She did mention that she will check with Aussie to see if there are any larger designs. And then there's a question if you can buy a box for a friend and if they can use it, and you may. And then she said very few boxes are being returned, so they are concerned about that and will take that into consideration when expanding the program. And then she also heard from a professor that some students are taking away Aussie boxes to their apartments and then throwing them away. And then there's confusion regarding the box and the SLP and how to hand it to a worker. This is word for word with the question that was asked, and this is the response. Will there be clarification around how to handle the Tupperware inside the SLP facilities? Specifically, can we use the box by directly handing it to the workers, or are they not allowed to touch the Aussie box? If so, how can students not bring their own Tupperware if they're allowed to touch the Aussie boxes? Isn't it the same thing as if students hand wash the Aussie box and reuse it? And the word for word response was, the expectation is that the customer brings in a thoroughly clean Aussie box or gets a new box at the register each time, and then they hand it to the staff at whichever station they're getting their food from. The only issue is if this customer brings back a box that is visibly dirty. They will be told to return it to the machine, get a token, and get a new box at the register for use. Also, during a pilot program, it is important to have specific elements in place before you expand to a myriad of other options. Ideally, customers would be getting a fresh Aussie each time they went to get their meal to go, and this helps with proper sanitation and food safety. If you open it up to allow outside containers, that can be problematic. For example, if the container does not enclose properly or someone gets burned and food leaks out, or the container is material that cannot properly hold hot foods. So right now we're keeping it simple and offer Aussie boxes alone as a reusable container. Once we get a full semester of use and further feedback from students on campus, we will assess our options for the fall. That's all her updates today, and if you have any questions for her, you can reach out to her personally.
Good afternoon, everyone. Justin, Academics Chair over here. So in regards to what we're doing, there's a lot of initiatives that are currently in progress with academics. So I don't overload everyone, I'm just going to talk about what's specifically tangible. Let's start with academic research grants. So the first wave of research grants for the fall was finished, and we're in the process of receiving back reviews from people that were awarded grants for the fall. In regards to the spring grant applications, the due date for those for everyone is March 12th at 5 p.m. and that is going to be a Thursday. So what we're going to do is, once we receive these research grants from people from the 3 basic divisions of engineering, science, and visual arts, then we will round up the academic grant committee, and then we'll go through the process of approving them with myself, Grayson, the advisors, and different faculty representatives. Ernesto was able to step up and he met with all the committee, and we're doing academic grant application advertising, so make sure you check out Instagram and everything eventually, because we got some videos coming up from the committee for that. In regards to 24/7 study spaces, we just did quick reaching out, and it is confirmed that the new Learning Commons that's under construction will be the new 24/7 study space. As far as things that we're currently in progress on, we're still working on that whole printing initiative and trying to get it not free, then reduce costs for everyone, try to work on campus cash and everything for all the students. And then, as sort of a last new idea, Catalina was spearheading this with Angelo. It was in regards to having professors adjust their syllabi to use the correct pronouns for students once they begin their semester. And this is sort of in the works and just starting, so Catalina suggested if anyone here is interested in taking part, they reach out to either herself or Angelo. that's all from academics so far.
I have a mic. Hi everyone, happy Thursday. You probably saw in an email from Gato that we're gonna vote today on an initiative from Student Life Committee, but we're gonna postpone that. There are a couple technical things we have to work out, but I'll resend something out about like the budget or something so that next time we meet, y'all can be prepared and have questions for us. But yeah, we're planning on getting this Lift initiative going, getting the funds for it, getting talks. So that's exciting. Again, the next grocery tram is March 15th. That's the weekend we come back from break. So please spread the word. If you see it on the ASG Instagram, repost it. Tell people they can get a cool free tote bag. And yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Hi, so, Michael. Okay, so I'm meeting with the Health and Wellness Advisor next week, or after break, to go through some possible new initiatives, so I'll keep you updated once I get that.
Thank you, committee chairs. Moving on to reports from ASG Executive Board and ex officio members. Tony?
Yep, I was gonna say Drew's updates.
Oh, right, sorry. Tony will be speaking for Drew, giving his updates.
Hello, everybody. So, like Maya said, I'm going to be giving Drew's updates for athletics. So, we will be helping out with TPP's event, March Madness. It's going to be on Saturday, March 14th, which is the weekend after we get back. It's going to be a 5v5 basketball tournament that will be like a lot of fun, big games, prizes. Yeah, it's going to be fun. We will have other people like outside of Senate participate, but we'd love for like Senate to participate as well, so be sure to come out. It is from 1 to 3 p.m. So yeah, just keep an eye for that. There's also some games coming up, basketball and baseball this weekend, but due to spring break, might be kind of tough for people to come out, so yeah. Reach out to Drew if you have any questions. Thank you.
Hi everybody. I want to talk to you about two opportunities for people to get involved. So one is this program called Unsung Heroes. This man reached out to me a couple weeks ago, and essentially what an Unsung Hero is, it's people like that are underappreciated on our campuses. So you can think about our custodian workers, our tram drivers, people that work in dining services, all those people that like are the backbone of the school that like kind of that are unsung heroes. So like what they did at Georgetown was there was a custodian who like his dream was to open up a certain type of business, and they did a GoFundMe and raised like $60,000, and he actually 3 years later is having a quite successful business. So it does things like that. They're looking to bring it upon our campus. I think it's a great opportunity, but what I'm looking for is somebody like spearheaded. I personally don't have the time. I would be more than willing to contribute and help this go about, but I'm looking for somebody who is interested and like to kind of take it on. Is there any interest? Raise their hands. Anybody interested in it? Cool. Also, feel free to email me if you want to think about it. And the second one is the Open Access Task Force. I've mentioned it before. It's a Senate task force. Basically, open access is like the idea that publications that are put on by like academics are free. They're open for everybody because our library spends like at least $200,000 a year just to have access to all the journals that we do. And that creates problems for schools that don't have money. It also becomes like a socioeconomic problem because like people with more money have access to more resources and more like literature. And so open access is kind of like a movement to kind of put it up for free, let academic expression be. So they have a Senate task force about it. If anybody's interested about that, is there any interest here? You would raise your hands again. Awesome. Also, if you have any interest, also feel free to reach out to me after. Thank you.
Hello everyone, happy Thursday. It's great to see you all here. So the first thing that I have to update you all about is Elections Committee. Elections Committee has met, we met yesterday, and we got the ball rolling for marketing and just planning the entire elections process, so keep an eye out for that. Remember that informationals begin March 9th, so for those of you that are interested in rerunning for ASG, you have to attend at least one of the informationals. They're from the 9th to the 24th. Also, tabling before Senate is something that we want to do either weekly or bi-weekly. We're gonna see how the turnout goes. Can I get 2 or 3 volunteers for the Thursday that we got back from break? It'd be ideal if I could get one senator who's serving on the elections committee so they can talk about elections, and then another senator who can talk about, actually yeah, because academic grants will be turned in by then. So can I get 2 or 3 volunteers and preferably someone from elections committee? Thanks. Max. Anyone else? It's gonna be from 11 to 12. You just get out bags and just wait to see if anybody wants to talk to you. Brianna, thank you for volunteering again this week. Another thing, yes, academics committee, they sent me a video. It's gonna be posted today. Keep an eye out for that, showing or speaking about academic grants and giving information about that. To all my committee chairs, it'd be ideal if we can record either the committee chairs or someone that's working on an initiative to put those on the Instagram. So I already have spoken with Rhonda to give an update about Aussie and how that works, and I've spoken with Maya as well for the grocery trams. But if you have anything that you're working on that you would like students to know, what you all are dedicating yourselves to, please let me know, and then I will also be reaching out to you, senators as well. If there's anything you're working on, please let me know. That's all. Thank you.
Hi everyone. My updates are much of the same as Danny's. Election informationals are starting. We also have a elections website. Our website is live for more information on everything that's happening. But other than that, I have no updates.
Hi everybody. So I don't have many updates myself, but I do have updates from Marion that she sent me here, so I'll read them off to you. I am working on a write-up to be submitted to President Harris on housing insecurity for students, so please reach out to me if you'd like help with this, or if you have any insight you might think be useful. As has been talked about with exec, I do recognize that I am a member of ASG that has the most contact with administration, so in trying to get that to change, I will start letting you know when I'm meeting with specific administrators, so that if you'd like to sit in on these meetings, or would like me to get you all connected with that administrator, you know who I am meeting with you know who I am meeting with and when. I just ask that you let me know about your interests 72 hours in advance, so I can plan accordingly. And the next one is, so just so you all know, I will be meeting with Dr. Avery the Friday we get back from spring break, and I will be sitting in meetings about commencement that week as well, and we'll be in a meeting with Dr. Allen, Vice President of Institutional Effectiveness and Strategic Initiatives that week as well. And the last update is, as some of you know, My Story is an event that happens once a semester on campus, and is a night of storytelling. This year there will be an LGBTQ+ edition of My Story, and it will be happening March 11th in the Black Box of Camino. Seating is limited, so if you would like to attend, I, Marion, will send out the flyer with the link on Slack.
Hi, my name is Juliana. I'm proxying for Elise today. I'm the budget controller for TPP. The only update that we really have is Tony said our March Madness event is on March 14th. We also have our lecture on March 17th, and of course Olay on March 27th. So got big things for March, so I think you guys are excited. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to line item A, new business, approval of new and re-registering student organizations. Luana, take it away.
Hello. Okay. We have 2 clubs that need approval today. USD Rotaract, which is a re-registering club,
and their motto is service above self. Through professional development, leadership, and service projects, members of the club strive to better the community. And we also have the Tie-Dye Club, which is a new club that already has over 50 members interested. And they hope to provide a source of relaxation through tie-dyeing, as well as a place of belonging for creative students. Any questions about any of these clubs? Or any motions?
Maya?
I move to, oh wait, I move to approve both both clubs.
Second.
There is a motion on the floor having been seconded to approve both student organizations. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor, please raise your placards and say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? And any abstentions? Motion passes. Thank you, Alana. Moving on to line item B, Finance Committee allocations.
Hi everyone, so Grayson and I are going to be giving the update for the Finance Committee meeting, from the Finance Committee meeting that we had on Tuesday night.
So this first page right here is the guidelines. So these kind of been in place for a little while now, like a semester or two. We have decided to like amend them and make them like rules so they can remain consistent for future finance committees.
So essentially what these were is basically they're kind of guidelines for us to go through as we're funding different centers and different programs around campus. So they're basically just simple things like per person per meal, we gave $8.50. And so there were times you might have seen that the math looked kind of different. That's because we gave them funding because they may have been less than what this would have been per person, if that makes sense. So does anyone have any questions about any of these? Do you have a chance to look over it? Can I clarify any of them for you? Yes, Maya.
I also want, hello? Okay. I also want to clarify that these were just guidelines. I'm also in finance committee. We didn't have to go to them, but these were like what we agreed on that were the best things to like go by because we had been going by them for so long. But it's not like these are bylaws.
Any other questions before I go on to the actual allocation? Okay. So just so you all know, we're not going to be going through tab by tab today. So this is a basic understanding of the amount that we had to be allocated for the semester. So essentially it was excess funds that came from the previous semester. And so we reallocated the money to centers. So centers had the opportunity to request things that we may not have given them funding for the previous semester. So not just centers, but also the other programs, as you're aware, that we fund. And so the excess was $86,110. And by the end of it, we had a remaining of $5,480, if that makes sense. Does anyone have any questions? So if there are no questions, then we need a vote, correct, to approve this reallocation.
Justin?
I don't have a motion. I was wondering, since we do have members from TPB here, if we could get clarification off of what the process is for selecting the speaker for the lecture series from Tuesday is.
Yeah.
If that's okay?
Yeah, no, sorry.
Thank you, sorry about that. So for our lecture, originally we had a fall lecture like we usually do, but due to the specific person that we were looking at, it kind of got pushed back to this semester. So we do have a bigger spring lecture as usual, and it's just fall lecture carried over. It's not essentially a series because they're not related to one another. As of right now, we can't give like exact details as to what the lecture on Tuesday will consist of. They are going to be released soon for marketing purposes. Does that kind of answer your question? Or are you talking about the spring lecture?
Both.
So what exactly would you like to know?
So I don't want to paraphrase the details. Just those.
You guys could confirm the details from Finance Committee were that they were to select a speaker that's aligned themselves with social justice along that aspect, and then I don't believe that we had. I'm not sure if we made a contingency statement that like these funds would be used specifically for a speaker of this genre, and so it was kind of along the lines of that. Is there like, do we know if it's going to stick with what was written along with the application, or if it could just go to any which way?
Okay, so I get your question now. We are still planning on looking at a speaker who can talk on behalf of social justice and the environment. We're also looking at possibly a panel of different people to talk, possibly USD faculty or people on the outside. So we are still aligned with that idea and genre of the bigger lecture.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Isaiah? Take it well. Ernesto?
I move to approve the budget committee allocations. Second.
There is a motion on the floor having been seconded to approve the Finance Committee allocations. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor, please raise your placards and say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? And any abstentions? Motion passes. Thank you. Moving on to the final business and hearing of the public. At this time, any senator may take from the table any motion previously the meeting the week before or present urgent business. Any member of the public may voice any concerns to the assembly on non-agenda items. Ernesto?
Hello everybody, I would just like to remind you that tomorrow doors are being opened at the Electronic Recycling Center. We are giving a lot of furniture away. There's desks, chairs, mattresses, tables, everything that the university has decided that it doesn't want to put back into student dorms or offices. Basically, it's all being put together tomorrow at E-Waste, and members of the community have been invited. People from the Vista all the way to Tijuana from across the border. So if you guys are interested in coming, taking a look, or taking free furniture, come by tomorrow. Marian sent the link and the flyer to the Slack group. I think it's between 2 and 5:30. Thank you.
Grayson?
I just have a question. Sorry.
I apologize if I missed it. Where is that located?
At the Electronic Recycling Center, down the hill.
Judy?
Is there a storage option for students that can't take the furniture immediately or no?
I don't think so. It's open door, come take what you will. What the departments that are organizing it hope to accomplish is get it all out of there because it's not where it's supposed to be. So it's an invitation for everybody who needs it, come and take it. It's really up to whoever comes to find accommodations or transportation for it.
Angelo?
motion to end.
I motion to adjourn.
There is a motion on the floor, having been seconded, to adjourn today's meeting. Is there any further discussion? Crystal?
I think we should consider voting no so Amanda can say what she needs to say.
Oh, I didn't realize. You get to speak afterwards. Thank you.
All those in favor, please raise your placards and say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? And any abstentions? Motion passes. Amanda?
Cool. Just wanted to remind everybody that we will be doing like a brief training right now. So members of the public, thank you for joining. We're gonna just kind of transition into a training. So we're anticipating